Why do so many of us think spirituality is religion or religious, or the opposite of the spectrum, too woo woo, or even out of our reach? Well, thank you everyone. I'm Christine Gold, and yeah, I'm so excited to dive into this video today about how spirituality saved my life. And I really want you to join me as I dive into my personal journey and challenge myself to share how spirituality completely transformed my life. I wasn't raised in any particular religion. I never went to church and never spoke about spirituality either. Like in our family, like we just didn't talk about that. And now looking back, it was kind of weird actually, because since 2017, I live, eat, and breathe spirituality. It has truly saved my life. And I also wrote my first book, a spiritual memoir called Intuition Saved My Life. And I really feel that intuition, intuitive development, psychic development, whatever you want to call it, is the foundation of who we truly are at a soul level. Now, in 2017, I found myself at a crossroads, completely overwhelmed by life's challenges and feeling utterly lost. But hey, on the outside, I looked like I was, number one out of 30 sales reps and making six figures, and I had the car and I had the house, and I even had the shiny, trophy boyfriend. Oh, sorry. But on the inside, I was a complete mess. I was totally drained. I was overwhelmed. I felt lost. I definitely was negative and pessimistic. So, and then I brought people's stuff home with me, all their problems. I didn't know, I had no boundaries. I didn't know how to cut cords. I didn't know how to shield myself. I didn't know how to clear my chakras. I didn't know how to meditate. I didn't know how to pray. All of those are like the basis of Spirituality 101 and really tuning into who you are at a soul level. So I would mask it with, you'd get one person at work and another person at home, drinking, smoking, eating. I mean, I was on antidepressants for a while, and I found that the side effects were way worse than taking them. Now, I'm not saying don't take them, but for me, it didn't work. All right, it plateaued. And Johann Hari has an amazing book all about depression and anxiety and the placebo effect and why we all have lost connections. That's what his book is titled. He also has another book called Chasing the Scream. I highly recommend both of those books. I mean, I've read many, many books, hundreds of books. That is part of how I really dove in. But let's go back to my story. Everything came crashing down. I could not keep up. The mirage, the falseness, the farce, the BS. I mean, many of us are putting on masks and putting on airs, or about I'm okay, I'm good, look at me, I have everything, when inside it's a complete mess. And that whole idea of fake it till you make it is a bunch of BS. That's not what we want in this lifetime. It's to be authentic. And the underlying, and I'm rereading Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly, an amazing book. The underlying issue, or the underlying thing that needs to be healed to become authentic and vulnerable, is shame. Shame is in everything, and that will most likely be the next video I will be doing, is all about shame, because that chapter alone, I believe, was 40 pages. So, and we have shame in our everyday lives. So for anyone that says that they don't, I call BS. So everything came crashing down. I had 2 attempts to die by suicide. I would be sometimes blackout drunk. You know, I would be the weekend warrior drinker. I was smoking way too much and eating way too much. I was 60 pounds overweight. I had a fatty liver. I had so many things. Anyways, I was, it finally turned for me when I went on YouTube, and you know how you get those little sidebar videos? And I'm looking, and then I'm like, go to the next. Well, it popped up. So Spirit said, no, you're watching this. A video delivered by my mentor, and I've had a few, who said my anxiety and depression and all of my addictions are because I'm not living my soul's purpose. I'm not utilizing my gifts. Now, these gifts is what we all inherently have. It's intuition, right? And seeking solace and answers and working with her, little did I know, 6 months later, this decision would change my life in ways I could never have imagined. And that's the tricky part of the ego. The ego wants to keep you lost, stuck, limited. You can call it the triple D effect: death, disease, and destruction. I mean, those are the hallmarks of the ego. Now, the ego is not the enemy. See, us humans tend to go black or white, but there's a lot of gray. And there's a lot of things that we will never actually know. Number one. Number two, why do you need to know? Is that you or is that your ego? This is how discernment works. This is how intuition development works, as you rely more on your senses and not the brain. I mean, the brain is very useful, yes, just like the body and the heart and everything else. However, it is a very small component to the rest of your spiritual body, because we are spiritual beings and we're having a human experience. So my journey began with the basics. You got to go back to basics. Like, we all seem to think, like, if I do this one trick or this one hack, or if I do something so woo, so unimaginable, then I will immediately be psychic. I'll immediately be a medium. I'll immediately ascend to the 225th plane. No. It, again, you are coming out of, you're going into the ego. And Eckhart Tolle talks about that all the time. It is a dance. So it's all about meditation. I know you don't want to hear about it. Meditation, oh, that's so boring. That would be something the ego would say. And it is very dismissive. And it is talking you out of what you need. This is like a human, this is a basic need. If you go back thousands of years, they spent a lot of time in quietness, in solitude, in peaceful presence, along with prayer. And prayer is not praying to gods or this god or that god or whatever. It's praying to something that is bigger than yourself. I mean, you can call it what you want, source, universe, but as my mentor had said, you have to believe in something or you will fall for everything. And reading all the spiritual texts, all the books. I mean, you know, I've read so many, you know, Eckhart Tolle, Thich Nhat Hanh, which, you know, I love Plum Village. I love the work that they do. It's been absolutely amazing. Michael Murdad, he's out of Sedona. He really brought me back into Christ consciousness, which was something that was missing in my life. And I actually tried twice to, well, I would say I'm becoming a Christian. So I've already put a label on myself. And I put it in parentheses because I know that this is, I'm not knocking Christianity. What I'm knocking is how I had so many covert Christian narcissists come at me because I was a medium, because I was a psychic, because I used oracle cards and tarot cards and all these divination tools. Well, that's all the work of the devil. You know, the devil was in the work way before you declared yourself a Christian, okay? So let's just get that off the table. So these activities gradually opened my heart and mind, allowing me to see the world and myself in a new light. And I started to understand that spirituality isn't about escaping reality. That's why I love practical spirituality, as above, so below, meeting in the heart. But it's embracing it with a deeper sense of purpose and connection. And that is what is most inherent. That's an inherent part of our human experience as spiritual beings. And as well, you know, the next part was the healing and the growth. So through spirituality, through practices, through reading, through chakra work, kundalini, all of these things, I learned to let go of past trauma, because that's what it was all rooted in, is past trauma, ancestral trauma. Trauma that goes back in the indigenous cultures, they believe, and so do I, 7 lifetimes, 7 years, like 7 generations, not 7 years, 7 generations, right? To set everything up for the next 7. So believe that you are a chain breaker. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you are a chain breaker. And it's about forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Forgiveness, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, forgiveness is the balm for the soul. And it absolutely is. This is a process of healing that was not easy for me. Oh my gosh. I had so many people I blame for this, for that. They did this to me, that happened. Those people, oh my, stop the madness. You know, when I got real with myself, and I still do, I'll catch myself. I mean, it's incredibly liberating. It's incredibly freeing. It's almost like you're floating on clouds all the time, but you are still tethered to the root, the foundation of who you are. And I had no foundation. So I was building it slowly, brick by brick. Not to build a wall, no. My walls were coming down, the heart chakra, right? I discovered the power of mindfulness and gratitude, which I do have a journal. You know, gratitude journaling is huge. I mean, when you live in that state, that is a being, that is a vibration. You are a magnet for that. And the more that you speak that into your life, the more that it comes into your life. That really helped me stay grounded and appreciate the beauty in everyday moments, because you are not guaranteed tomorrow. So now that things have shifted, through the work, through the hundreds of readings that I did, spirituality gave me a new perspective. It taught me to view challenges as opportunities, not problems. If you expect to go through life smooth sailing, you're going to come back in another lifetime to repeat that lesson, right? It strengthens our resilience, and we are so resilient. We have been through so much. This shift in perspective was so empowering. It gave me the courage to pursue my dreams with renewed vigor. In a lot of cases, the people that I work with don't even have dreams. I didn't have any dreams. I didn't have any goals. I just thought, I'm going to get myself a nice job and make lots of money and have a home and a car and go on vacation to escape this life. Hello, ding, ding, ding. Just reflecting back on this, I just, this is a 7-year journey so far, and it's not over. It's never over, right? I always ask people, what's your Moby Dick? What's your big whale of a dream? I want to know. Comment below. I want to know. What's your dream? What's your dream? I've been following Simon Squibb a huge amount lately as well. He is very inspiring. Yes, he's got millions and billions of dollars, but he actually helps people launch their business. Huge. Huge. and he uses his own money. I think that's even bigger. That is giving back. That is how we do that. That, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be money. It could be time. It could be words. It could be an act of service. What is your love language? If you're not familiar with that book, go read it, because everybody has a love language, right? So I want to talk about community and connection, and I want to talk about this community, the Soul Healers community. And it was an evolution. I mean, when I started out, it was 24 karat healing. Yeah, I made a play on my last name, yada yada, right? But I come to realize, or it was dropped in my lap, that that's why we're here. We're here to heal our soul, our heart and our soul, but our soul. We have been so disconnected from our soul, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. That's why we're here. And one of the most beautiful aspects of my spiritual journey has been a sense of community and connection it brought into my life. And sure, I lost people, and as you're having your spiritual awakening, your dark night of the soul, you will lose people. They don't belong anymore. They don't fit into your puzzles. Not that you're trying to fit in anywhere, but it's not part of the collage, the blueprint of who you are. As you're ascending, they will naturally fall away, and you will grieve for them. Yes, you'll wonder why. Why do I feel so lonely? That is the journey. There are worse things than being lonely. Being surrounded by people that take advantage of you, that put you down, that are toxic. Why would you accept anything less? Why? So I met like-minded individuals who supported and inspired me. And together we share our experiences, we learn from each other, and we grew stronger in our spiritual paths, and especially women. Women especially, throat chakra. This is what's happening. Solar plexus, throat, third eye. These activations are happening right now. So I want to talk just about the spirituality piece and how it is a lifelong journey. It is not a destination. I mean, we've seen those posters. It is a journey, and the path is not straight. There are hills and valleys, my friends. So enjoy them. It continues to shape my life, guiding me in both joyous and challenging times. It has given me a sense of peace and fulfillment that I never thought possible. That smoking, drinking, eating, sex, shopping, gambling, never, ever, it can't even come close. It's like euphoric. And when you tap into that, oh my gosh, do I want to say anti-aging or youthless, your youthless elixir? You start to age backwards. I feel I am. Anyways, so I really wanted to share the story with you in the hope that I might inspire you to explore your own spiritual path, whether you're seeking healing, purpose, or just deeper connection with yourself and the world. Spirituality is a powerful ally. I mean, the shamans, the mystics, the witches, for thousands of years they've been tapping into this, into the stars. It's so interesting why we're seeing as well, you can see planets with the naked eye. There's comets, there's UFOs, there's the auroras. I mean, you can see them around the world now. It's not just limited to certain places in the world now. So things are opening and expanding, changing, evolving, crumbling, and we're seeing destruction around us all the time, and it can be chaotic. But if you're plugged into that dark media, that dark web, unplug yourself. You are the inner authority. You have the final say. Nothing or no one has control or power over you unless you give it to them. So I really want to thank you for taking the time to hear a little bit about my story. There is more, videos and content about my story. If you have questions or you'd like to share your own experiences, I would love to hear from you. And really, it's about sharing our struggles and our challenges, and that's how we create authentic connections, right? And in our world of mental and emotional turmoil right now, I mean, mental health, everything, this is so needed. And I want to ask you a question. Are you looking for a mentor? Because, you know, for you to say, I don't need anybody, that's your ego talking. We all need mentors in certain periods of our life. I mean, I can go back and think of my grade 7 dance teacher, Mrs. Troughton. I still remember her name because she touched me in such a way. She inspired me where nobody was inspiring me. Nobody believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. She believed in me. You know, there are people along our path. Maybe we know who they are, maybe we don't. They're angels in disguise. Take heed, listen. So if you're looking to dive into your spiritual self, I have a 12-week fast track group program called the Soul Healers Method. I also have a 1-year program if you want to really become your own business owner, your spiritual badass. Business, what is it? I can help you with that. And the link is below. Or you can join my free safe space, the Soul Healers community. So I really want to thank you so much for being here. And please share this out. And whether, you know, you're on your own spiritual path or you're curious, I really hope this inspired you, offered you some encouragement. Maybe reach out, if it's not me, reach out to somebody else, right? I do have a network of other practitioners that I work with. So if you're interested in learning more about, you know, Akashic records, astrology, ley lines, there's a fun one. Schumann's resonance, oh gosh. You know, there's the Book of Enoch. There's so many things out there. UFOs, aliens. I'm all in. I don't know about you, but I'm always interested in that. So I'm sending you all so much love. Take care of yourself. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends. Bye-bye.